Salutations everyone, and welcome back. And as you can see, we are continuing where we left off the last time. That is at the entrance, or the magic door here. Which is not so magical at all, anyway. Shut up now. Let's kill some more. 2 damage! Ha! Try better next time. Ow! The bats are more dangerous than the wolves. Slightly. So, more block puzzles. Because why not? Well, that was easy. Oh well, still more. Hey! I needed that. Alright, and I think we have to pick that one and put it here, because there should be a lever over here, right? There is. Actually, it opened. No, it's closing again. Magic. It is a magic door. This outfit. What was he thinking? Interesting. But now he sees in black and white. Bats! More bats! Dead. And the other one is dead as well. Alright, and we still need one of the boxes. Oops. To make our way up there. I told you last time already that there will be a lot of those riddles. And there's a chest. And if we find something to heal ourselves, which we should actually use, as we have taken... Oh no, our arm is better again. So, if I remember correctly, this should be the first boss fight. I think I'm right. Well, that one appears to be big. How did you even get it inside here? I think I'm going to change my weapon to... Not much difference. Come on. Ah, he can reach me from there. Alright. Again? But as you can see, stronger enemies are quicker at deciding what to do when to attack. And as you can see, we are not going to do a lot of damage. And, oh well. And apparently he's vulnerable against air damage. What the? Time to use something that heals a little bit more. Come on, die! Of course not. I have to be concerned about the possibility of critical hits. Ah! Finally. Man. And he's still alive. And we got him. As you can see, bosses do a lot of damage, we do not. And yes, there is a congratulations screen for every boss you defeat, including scores which are calculated, I don't know, and an increase in one of the one of your attributes, intelligence +1 in this case. Not all too impressive. And some chamomile tea sigil, and 2 grimoires, which let us learn spells, actually. So we finally got access to spells, and we've opened the way forward. So let's use the heal grimoire. Nice. And time to wrong side, but I think there was a chest here. Right. And we get a shield and some more consumables. Another cutscene, of course. Yay! Man, those are creepy hands. Sure. One could say he's quite stoic. I don't know, maybe at home, in a chest somewhere. Well, that is disconcerting. Well, he looks a little bit colorless. moving their mouth and you can't hear anything. Interesting. Nice hair. Seriously, nice hair. I wonder what they're talking about. Well, nothing good. And now they're gone. I mean, the bandits just disappeared. That is suspicious. Jackals. He accuses us. Oh, how dare he? Merlots. That's an interesting name. Interesting. You're already here. Only too late. And where did you fly to? Doesn't this chamber have a ceiling? Yoo-hoo! That's a good question. So, we have finally access to our defense and chain abilities. Defense abilities are, as you can probably guess, abilities you can use when you are attacked and they give you some bonus. For example, Ward prevents paralysis and numbness, and Reflect Damage reflects damage against non-magical attacks, and Impact Guard reduces physical damage. So we assigned this to 3 of the controller's front buttons, which is square, triangle and circle. And let's just do this. So we can have 3 defense abilities active at the same time. The same is true for our chain abilities, which we have 3 right now, which is as the name implies, you chain after your first attack to have some additional effect. Heavy Shot is the most basic of which deals additional damage. That is, the Heavy Shot ability causes 70% of the damage of the original attack. And theoretically you can chain these abilities infinitely, but the window to use them becomes smaller every time you use them, and your risk increases ever more. As you can see here, these abilities all cost risk in addition to the risk cost of using the weapon anyway. And this can drive the risk meter up very quickly. And yes, that is not perfect. So you have to use these in moderation, so to speak. And right now we only have 3 chain and 3 defense abilities. This will increase as we progress through the game, as we gain ability points for slain enemies, which after a certain point give us the option to choose more. As you can see, we need 20 more points to be able to choose either a new chain or a new defense ability. So you might be wondering what this is here. This is a mannequin, which is a nearly invulnerable enemy that you can use to drive up the enemy affinity of a weapon. In this case, it's a human enemy, so you can use it to have your weapons increase the human parameter if you want to, and yeah. You can also, of course, use them to test the chain abilities and so on and so forth. But since we don't really have a weapon, well, we already have the Fandango, which has some value in human, and 7th Heaven has increased in value to 0. So I guess we will use 7th Heaven for beasts for now, and the Fandango if we run across human enemies. So this is of course only the first of several possible mannequins, which usually appear in some places after the boss is defeated. And yeah, let's just continue a little bit more. So as you can see, after an attack, or during an attack, an exclamation mark will appear over our head, which will cause us to execute, or gives the signal for us to use one of our chain abilities. The same will happen if we are attacked, and this then allows us to chain our abilities. And I press too soon here, you get a message if you are too fast or too slow. For example, I hit it perfectly, but since the enemy was already dead, it didn't make much of a difference. We can try it, of course, with the wolf. And as you can see, our second attack did slightly less damage than our first. That's because it was heavy shot, which does 70% of the original damage. So let's see if we get attacked somewhere. That restored damage points to our weapon. That was a critical hit, and thus no more chains. So luckily the game recognizes when an enemy is dead and doesn't allow you to chain abilities infinitely. Come on. That. One interesting effect, and one that is quite useful, you can still chain attacks even if your first attack missed, and they ever so slightly increase in the damage that they do with each iteration. And considering the low hit chance or low accuracy against several enemies later in the game, this is sometimes more or less the only chance to actually damage enemies. Ow. So, we should be getting close to collecting enough ability points for new quality. Too slow there. Let's see if these wolves give us enough AP. Again! Huh. Not too slow. And as you can already see here, the risk meter is increasing faster than before. still didn't give us enough AP for the next ability. Wanted to show that, at least in this episode. And they appear directly before us. How rude. Of us, I mean. Just almost stepping on his nose. And as you can see, our damage reduction ability does not actually reduce the damage we take, it just heals us for half of the damage we took. Meaning if you die by the attack, well, it's not really that useful. Should be slowly getting more enough points for... that reminds me, I could use the other Grimoire to learn that spell. So Degenerate of course just decreases the strength, thus reducing the amount of physical damage they do. And one feature I have not explained right now, but it's close by I can show it. The game, of course, as every proper dungeon crawler, has traps, which in this case is a trap. So, as you can see, the game is more or less separated into blocks, and some blocks have traps on them. Most of them are, well, debilitating. They either do damage or cause negative effects, but there are a few traps that will actually heal you. Those are usually, well, the hostile traps are usually directly in your path, you will likely step on them, and healing traps are usually not on your path and somewhat out of the way, but if you can find them, they're quite useful to heal yourself without needing to waste MP or an healing item consumable. And yeah, let's see, let's go back to the now that the knights are dead, it appears some beasts have made their home here. As we can see, beasts and phantoms cannot be used on the same weapon. I'm just wondering, how do these enemies get inside here? I mean, the bears are just flying, but how did the wolves get inside here? That's strange. So, we are now back at our closed or sealed door, which has lost the lock symbol on it, because we have the sigil when healed, the chamomile sigil, and we're going to use it, but we are already at over 20 minutes, so we will use it in the next episode, and we will of course start here, as always, directly from this point on forward. So until then, I wish you, as always, a most pleasant day, and, well, I'll see you in the next episode, I guess. Goodbye.